Hi, and welcome back to Arley Farms. Now, we're going to be doing something different in a few minutes, but I just want to show you what I've got planned for the next couple of days, because it's November right now. Remember, we're playing 1 day months here. Okay, so if we go in here and look at animals for a second, we'll go to animals first. So these are at 80%. So tomorrow they'll be at 90%. So I've actually pretty much finished doing all the work I need to do for November. But in December, what I'm going to need to do is, aside from just feeding all the cows, which I do every day, we have to move 5 of these cows into the next paddock so that when they give birth, I think I've discussed this before, this paddock only holds a maximum of 25 cows, and we have, where are we, that's home paddock. So we go to home paddock down here. Which is here, already has 15 cows in it, so because it only holds a maximum of 25, if we don't move 5 of them tomorrow, we're going to lose 5 calves. So I want to move 5 into hillside 1 tomorrow, so then when all the cows give birth, we don't lose any calves. And they're also at 46 months already, so by the time they give birth they'll be at 48 months. We might let them go for one more lot of births. By that time they'll be 58 months, so we'll have to sell them then because they're getting too old. Plus also, if I go into this menu here now and silage here, we'll go and have a look. Silage is worth the most in January. So December, tomorrow, will be the first thing of winter. Where are we? Is that one I wanted? No, what's the one that shows the seasons? Oh, I think that's still this one. But so here we've got January. No, it's not that one. Where's the page I want for the different seasons? It's not that one. It's oh, here, yes. So December, January, February are winter months. So tomorrow will be December, so we'll have to move some cows tomorrow after we feed them all. So in January, we can go and sell our extra silage bales, as I said, because that's when they're worth the most in January. Here you can see. And the extra, so what I've got here is I've got the pink ones are the last of the couple of seasons ago. Then we're on to the green, which these ones here are all completely silage now. They've completely swapped over, but I've still got ones here that are right now at 72% fermented. So by January, which is when we want to sell them, they'll be at 100%. So we can, all these ones here will all be sold, which will knock down our overdraft a wee bit. But since we're going to be knocking down the overdraft, we're going to go and have a look at a couple of new vehicles. Now, stepping out of the story mode for a moment, we're not going to buy either of these new vehicles, and I'm going to show you why we're not. So this is FS22, of course, and an so this is our pickup truck at the moment, which is getting on a wee bit for, bearing in mind this farm here is set in modern day. It's not set in the 80s. It's the only farm I've got that's not set in the 80s. So for modern day, this truck here is, it could be getting old in the tooth. The reason I say it could be is this model here of Land Cruiser came out in the, I believe this model came out in the 90s, and they're still being made to this day in very limited numbers. So it could be a very new truck still, but it could be, you know, a few decades old now, because it came out in the, yeah, I'm pretty sure it came out in the 90s, this model Land Cruiser. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and have a look at a couple of new trucks today that we might be buying. What I really like about this one is it's got the flat deck on the back there, and that is very, very common for New Zealand. So in my farms are set in the 80s, I like to drive Land Rovers, because in New Zealand back in the 80s, Land Rovers were very, very common to drive, but not so common nowadays on farms, because the Land Rover hasn't got a good name for reliability. The newer ones, the old ones did, but not the newer ones. So farmers tend to nowadays go for modern Japanese trucks. Now this Land Cruiser that we're driving at the moment, this mod's available in either single cab or double cab. And the reason I always choose the single cab version is the double cab one's done to a slightly different scale, and it's much bigger than this. I do mean much bigger, and it's actually too big for all the other mods I use. It's just too big, so this one here is to a smaller scale, and it fits in better with the other mods I use. So I always use the single cab one of this Land Cruiser in any modern farm I'm doing, not the double cab one. But of course double cab utes are quite common nowadays, but unfortunately the two mods we're about to look at don't have the option of having the aluminium flat deck on the back here with the wooden deck, which looks very Kiwi. So that's why I like this one for any modern farm I'm doing. For any old farm I like to use the Land Rover. Now of course the other thing that was very common back in the 80s, the 70s and 80s in New Zealand, was for farmers that didn't have a lot of money, they'd take an old car and cut it down into a ute by putting a deck on the back. Unfortunately there's nothing like that in Farming Simulator, which is why I use the Land Rover instead, because we haven't got the option of having an old car that's cut down into a ute. But let's go and have a look at these. So with FS22, which is now of course an older game, sorry okay, I know you won't think of it that way, but FS22 is kind of older now, so the mods don't get updated to the Modhub anymore, so you have to search elsewhere for mods. Now a couple of searches I do probably every 3 to 4 weeks, so even just doing these searches once a month, because there's normally like 1 or 2 mods that come out every week for FS22 now, even now, new maps and things like that, but you just don't hear of them very much because no one's really playing the game anymore. But what I do is, like, as you all know, I love my Fiat tractors, but there's already a good range of Fiat tractors, so I'm not so searching for any more. I also love my Ford tractors, and there are a couple of Ford tractors I'd still like to get. So every week, a couple of things I do is I go FS22 cars, I go searching for new car mods that have come out, I go FS22 Ford tractors and look for any of those that have come out. And there have actually been a couple of new ones that have come out, which I'm not going to show you on this farm, because this one is a modern farm, so it's not using Ford tractors or anything. But basically we've always had, or for a long time we've had the 10 series with the 7810 and the 6810 and things like that. There has been a mod that's just been released very recently, a very good one, that's got the older 10 series tractors, so the 7610, the 7710 rather than the 7810s. So if you're interested in seeing that, I can show you that, but I'd show you when we're on Valley Spring, because that's my Ford farm sort of thing. But today we're going to look at these two mods, which are both new ones that have come out. This is a double cab Hilux ute. It's very nice. It's got lots of different options that you can get it with, and I like this limited edition paint job with the stripes on it. Okay, the only thing I don't really like about this one was 2 things. One is the green springs, and the other is that you can only have it in automatic. You can't get this mod in a manual. And then the other one, done by the same person, so it's got the same green springs, is this one, which is a Mitsubishi, well, they've got it listed as being a Mitsubishi L200, sorry. In some countries that's what it would be called, a Mitsubishi L200. In New Zealand it would be called a Mitsubishi Triton. So I've renamed the mod because it's got the Triton badge on the back there anyway. So this mod, you can't change the number plates, you're stuck with those number plates, which is the modders. Now these two trucks, they've both got green springs, you'll notice. They are slightly different sizes. One of them, the cab's slightly longer and the deck's slightly shorter. I think if you part them side by side, we'll just pop in one and zoom out so you can see. So the Mitsubishi has a slightly longer deck. Has a slightly longer tray on the back, and also a slightly longer cab, so the whole truck is slightly longer overall, but they are to about the same scale still. The Toyota's slightly shorter, so it's got a fractionally shorter cab and a fractionally shorter tray. Now they're both left-hand drive only, and that is the one fault I found with these, is when you hop in the cab or when you change to in-cab view, you get that view there, which is a bit too far away, I think. And as soon as you move the camera slightly, it throws you to looking at the back view. So then you can turn around here, and so this, so you do still get a decent in-cab view. It's just when you first move the camera in the in-cab view, it will throw you at the back sort of thing, looking at the back. So you have to turn it so you're looking at the front again. So this is the Hilux, and as you can see, it's got the Toyota badge on the wheel. It's got the hat. It's got a few other bits and pieces on the interior. It's even got a bag of seeds on the back seat. One of the options when you buy this, you can even have it with a big load of tyres in the back if you want to. So it's already got a load of stuff in the back. The Mitsubishi, if we jump and have a look in that one, again left-hand drive only unfortunately, but that one inside the cab, it's got the same problem there, and I'll explain why it's got the same problem in a moment. It's got the Mitsubishi badge on the wheel. Similar sort of stuff here, slightly different. It doesn't have the seeds on the back. It does still have a drum in the passenger's footwell. It does still have a hat. Doesn't have the cross necklace hanging from the interior mirror, probably because it doesn't have an interior mirror, but otherwise very, very similar. Now, so as I said, these two are slightly different lengths. They do come with different but similar options. So they both have options, have vinyls on the bodywork, vinyls on the back windows. They've both got working tailgates and working straps in the back to hold things in. Different vinyls available. So this black pattern here, which is one of the real ones you can get for the real truck, you can either have it with that or without. This one here, you can have the limited stripes and the 4x4 turbo stickers on the back there. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Or you can have it without those. The Mitsubishi has a lot more colour options than the Hilux does. The Hilux only has about 6 different colours you can have it in. The Mitsubishi has about 40 different colours you can choose to have it in. But when you look at the XML files for these two trucks, it's actually the same XML file for 90% of it. There's some differences, but the same modders used exactly the same XML file to do both. No problem with that. It has got different sound files for both, so they both sound different. And I'll just shut up for a second so you can hear that. So that's the sound of the Hilux. Now the Hilux of course is turbocharged in real life, so that's fine. And if we jump in the Mitsi now, and here's the sound of the Mitsi. So the Mitsubishi is a lot louder than the Hilux, and I probably couldn't talk as I'm driving the Mitsi. It's probably a bit too loud for YouTube videos to talk and drive at the same time. So if you were going to buy one of these and use it during YouTube videos, making YouTube videos, you probably want to buy the Hilux rather than the Mitsubishi. They both have some really, really interesting options. Now, when you do buy them, I'll just show you. You go in here to buy one of them, and we go in here. Okay, all of the menus, unfortunately, are not in English, so you have to just kind of go through like that to work out what it is that they're changing. You do get you work it out after a while. So escape, for an example, is the exhaust. What kind of exhaust do you want on it? Okay, and accessories, nada means nothing. You know, there's your roll bar and things. You can have your what's it called, snorkels on both. You can have I think I mentioned it both. So here's in the Hilux here, you can have the load of tyres there. In the Mitsubishi you can have a big drum of oil on the back, and if you want a load already on it. So yeah, the menus aren't in English, so for those of us that sort of only speak English, you need to sort of play around the menu a bit to work out what each one does. But both these are brilliant mods despite their limitations. As I said, the limitations as far as I'm concerned are you can't change the number plates, and you have to have them in automatic. You can't have them in manual. Otherwise not really any limitations that worry me. I think they're both great mods, and they're new mods. So for those of you that do play FS22, there's 2 mods you might want to check out. So yeah, we came down to check them out, but because I would prefer to have a truck that's actually got a flat deck on the back rather than a well side, we will be keeping this one. But if I get some hired hands on this farm later on, then my hired hands might own one or both of these trucks, depending on how many hired hands I have, because I do really like those 2 mods and do recommend them. And as I said, if you want to see the latest Ford tractor mod that's just come out, which is the old style 10 series as distinct from the newer style 10 series, and it probably sounds very stupid me saying newer style 10 series, we're still talking about tractors from the 80s, even in the newer style. But I'd be happy to do a video on those if there's the interest, if people would like to see those mods, because as I said, none of these mods are available on the Modhub anymore, because the Modhub no longer updates with FS22 mods. So what I would recommend to anyone who is still playing FS22, I might be the only one left in the world, but if there's any mods that you're hoping come out still, it's worth doing a Google search about once a month. You'll be surprised at what's come out in the last month. As I said, sometimes it's new maps and things like that, that someone's released one, even though the game has been out forever and it's an old game now. Unless you're AK, he won't consider FS22 to be an old game, but for anybody else it is still. So yeah, enjoyed showing you those mods. And the other thing is, I apologise I haven't done a video in almost 2 weeks now, and one of the reasons for that is that I haven't been doing much farming simulation in the last week. I've mostly been playing A Bumpy Ride, that train game. Now I promised you all, or I decided that I was going to go back to weekly videos, and that I'd make them all, or mostly farm videos, with the occasional MX5 video or Lego video. And talking of which, I've got some Lego stuff to show you in probably my next video as well, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. But I know AK asked me a wee bit about A Bumpy Ride, and I can confirm I have now got all of the map unlocked. Finally, it's taken me a long time, and there is some interesting stuff about that. So I said I wouldn't do any more videos of train games and things, and I'm happy not to if people prefer to see my farming. But if people would be interested in seeing sort of A Bumpy Ride with more stuff unlocked and things, I will do another video on that. But if people don't want to see that, then I'll stick to only doing farming videos and the occasional MX5 or Lego video. So I'll call it quits now on this video for now, because I forgot to set my timer, so I have no idea how long this has been going for. And we'll be back with you again soon, but do let me know if you would like to see A Bumpy Ride, another video of A Bumpy Ride. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. I'm enjoying the game and I'm playing it regardless. I haven't made a video of it because I said I wouldn't, but if people want to see the other the rest of the map unlocked and things, I can make an exception and do one more video of it. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.